Hear ye, hear ye. The court is now open and in session. The Honorable Judge, Stephen Shaw, presiding. All persons having business before the court come to order. This is the case of the State of Georgia versus Dontavious Horton. Would you all rise, please?
You all may be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today we are here to prove Mr. Horton guilty. There are 5 reasons as to how we're going to prove this. Number 1, the defendant had a motive or reason for committing these crimes, which is vengeance. We will prove this. Number 2, the defendant was seen at the scene of the crime of the night of the burglary by the janitor guard, Mr. Broom. Number 3, that the defendant was tracked and followed directly to his house from the school by the police. Now listen carefully to this point, as it reflects a very competent piece of work by local police force. Point 4, the defendant had property identified as property stolen from a classroom in his possession at the time of his arrest. And number 5, the defendant lied to the police when questioned about these facts and his involvement in them.
Thank you.
Defense, would y'all be given?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today the defense would like to begin our statement to the juror by proclaiming that the defendant is wrongfully charged with the crimes of burglary and larceny in this case. We contend that the defendant is absolutely innocent of these charges and that only flimsy, some circumstantial, and unusual events are being interrupted incorrectly to place the defendant in this position. We are ready to prove to you by testimony and other evidence that the defendant is not guilty and wrongfully accused. At the conclusion of this trial, we expect you to find the defendant remains innocent of these charges and that you will remain a verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
Truth. The whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this case. So help you God, say I do.
I do.
Say your name and occupation, and you may be seated.
Miss Sonnet, teacher.
Sonic,
Yes.
what is your occupation again?
I'm a teacher.
Okay. How many years have you been working for the school?
8 years.
Now, in your years of working, have you had any students that have hurt you?
Yes.
Could you give us an example, please?
I had a student say they were going to get me back for getting them suspended because they were carving on the desk.
Okay. Could you point that student out to us today?
Yes.
Please do.
Don't cry.
Mr. Horton? He's the man responsible for that?
Yes.
Okay.
What's her name? Dontavious.
And you can see. You can see me.
Now, given your past, would you believe that Mr. Horton would be responsible for the burglary at school?
Possibly.
So, who did you see the night of the burglary?
I was at home.
So you weren't present?
No.
So you can't identify?
No.
No further questions.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this case?
Yes, sir. My occupation is the custodian.
Janitor for school?
Yes.
Okay. Now, where were you at the night of the burglary?
I was making my rounds around.
You committed the burglary?
No, actually I didn't. They knocked me out. They threw something and struck me in the back of my head, and it was kind of like a blur. But I did see like a strange view of when I woke up. When I woke when I woke up from
Okay. What time was you at work?
I was at work around
10?
10.
Okay. So you said you could testify that he was the victim, right?
No, I did not. I clearly say that I woke up from that. I woke up and I saw a glimpse of the person. I was still kind of blurry though.
Okay, so what is this student like during school when you doing your rounds around the school?
How can I tell you if I don't know what he looked like?
Okay, so
Niggas
you're
be
not-
right there.
Tell the truth.
You can sit down now.
Okay, the defendant would like to call Becky beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Do you want to ask the questions or no? Okay, where were you on February 19th?
I was at home.
Okay. When is the last time you talked to Dontavius and the defendant? Right here.
February 19th at around 11:15 p.m.
Can you describe the type of person the defendant is?
He doesn't get in trouble. This is like unlike him. I don't think that he did this.
Okay, no further questions.
Sit down, sit down.
Girls, to tell the truth, state your name and occupation. You may be seated.
Don't you gotta say it?
Oh, my name is Kusa Haji, and I am the owner of the grocery store.
Sit down.
I'm good.
Okay, so what do you do?
I am the owner of a grocery store
And how do you know this defendant?
because the defendant works as a carryout clerk at my store.
Okay, how long have you known the defendant working at your store? How long
The
has he worked?
defendant has been working for over a year now.
So if I could actually describe the type of person he is, could you?
Well, I could say that he's very hardworking, and I'm taking a liking to him.
Do you know where he spends most of his spare time?
During his lunch breaks, I see him most of the time at the sound shop.
Sound show. Okay, so you would say that he like music.
I guess so.
Objection. There's no relevance to this case.
On what ground?
There is no relevance to this case.
She said sound shop.
I thought it was a sound shop.
Girls, state your name and occupation.
Joe.
He just took those name objection.
What nigga say he had the
Okay, what is your occupation, Mr. Joe Cool?
I'm his friend.
What kind of friend?
His best friend.
How long have you known the defendant?
It's about 5 years.
How do you know the defendant?
Been going to school. Been going to school.
Been going to school with him? Okay. Can you describe the type of person he is?
Well, he's a cool. Ooh, if I say cool ass person. But he's a cool person. He's smart.
Cool, smart.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you remember the date of February 19th?
Oh, yeah.
What was you doing? Where were you at?
We went to the football game. Then coming back. Then I took him home.
Okay. You took him home. Okay. About what time was that?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? Okay, what time was it when you was with him?
9 o'clock. 9:30.
9:30? Okay, and what time did you get back home?
11 o'clock.
Alright. No further questions.
One question. Do you have the same class as him? Do you have Masonic?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever noticed any issues between the two?
No, sir.
So you're saying Masonic lied? You don't know. No further questions.
Make sure you tell the truth. State your name and occupation. You may be seated.
Okay. State your name, occupation.
My name is Miss Black, owner of the Sound Shop.
No, I own this house. Yeah, I own this house.
I did what you said, boy.
You said your name again?
Miss Black,
So what do you do for a living?
I'm an owner of the South Shop.
All right. Do you know this defendant?
Yes, he's one of my current, recent customers.
All right. How long have you known him?
For like a year.
Do you recall on any items that he has bought from your store?
I know that he purchased a commercial and a blank cassette.
What about tape recorders?
I don't recall, but he has bought various items from our store.
Okay, so can you describe the type of person the defendant is?
Well, he's very nice. I know his parents. They go to my church, and I never, he got good manners.
Jet, why you on somebody?
On what grounds?
You said what?
Wait, on what grounds?
Why are you talking about this?
Sustain. Sustain.
So are you positive that he has purchased commercial and blank cassettes from your store?
Yes, I am. Oh, y'all have the receipts over there. I am bringing.
No further questions.
Would you like to?
You want to cross the damage?
I got he bought this stuff, you know? Alright, so when you was at the scene of the crime, what do you exactly know what you got hit in the head with?
I don't know exactly what I did.
Okay, what did it feel like?
It felt like a rock or something.
Okay.
Well, we had a mission, but we failed, so prosecution arrest.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, as he stood in the beginning declaring that my defendant, Dontavius, was wrongfully charged with burglary and larceny, the prosecutor failed to provide evidence of his guilt. 1, they said that the defendant wanted to take revenge. 2, seen at the crime. And 3, was followed home. On the other hand, they didn't prove those points, and our defendant was wrongfully accused, and he should return a verdict of not guilty. We had testimonies and other evidence that the defendant is not guilty. He shouldn't be he couldn't be identified at the scene and by the guard. Thank you.
I like that reloaded.
So the verdict says here. What is your verdict?
Stand up. Say it again.
Jury, what is your verdict? Stand up.
We, the jury, find Dontavius Thornton not guilty.
No!
We find a verdict not guilty.